I'll start with you, Lisa. Absolutely fantastic. God, what a show. And so joyful and just lovely, lovely, lovely thing to watch. Obviously, you are so known for Derry Girls. How does it feel to be moving on, to get a chance to tell a different story now?
It's been incredible working on this because it's the exact same team, you know, behind the camera. So to be kind of reunited with them all and to make something a bit more heightened. And I've always wanted to have a crack at a mystery, so yeah, it's been great.
Here's your opportunity. And it has probably the best title of any show I've watched for quite a long time. Can you tell us where the title comes from?
When I was a student at Queen's University in Belfast on Freshers' Week, a street preacher gave me a flyer with the title on it. And I didn't go to the meeting, but I remembered it, you know, and thought that that'll be brilliant for something someday.
God, it's absolutely fantastic. Michael, I have to ask you about this because obviously you've worked with Lisa before. How did she sell this into you when she first asked you to get involved with this project?
Well, I think for me, it's like when Lisa sends a script through, do you know what I mean? It's a real sort of moment. And when I read this for the first time, it's just this sort of madness. Do you know what I mean? The madness that comes from Lisa's mind, because she just has such her own DNA when she writes in her work, and it's just such a privilege to be part of that show and contribute to it.
Absolutely. Ladies, hello.
Hello.
So lovely to see you again. I know that when you first met, you had a cast read-through in London, obviously a chemistry read-through. We can see the chemistry between you three on screen. I mean, did you feel that the minute you first met each other?
I didn't, in the nicest possible way, but just because we had never met each other,
Yeah.
and we were thrown in, like it was in an office, like a casting room in Spotlight, and Lisa and Michael were there, and lovely Liz Loon and Caroline Leddy were there, and Carter Strong, our casting director, and there were plastic chairs like you get in like school, and the plastic chairs were made to look like a car, and we had scripts, and it was all like, hello, nice to meet you, hello, nice to meet you, oh, yeah, I've seen you, and then it was like, right, jump it, it was all chairs and props and walking and talking and pieces of paper. It was just kind of do it. And then we came outside, and I remember saying to Keelan, I was like, when do you think we'll hear? I was like, is that it? And Keelan, I mean, you were very confident. You're like,
I knew.
You knew.
You
felt it in your water.
So wise.
You had a good feeling, Keelan.
Oh, I knew it. Just from the reaction in the room, it wasn't kind of anything that we were doing. It was the minute they started laughing from us doing very little. Which is a good sign in this particular circumstance. I'd be worried in any other. But yeah, the reaction to the three of us was perfect in everything that we did. They laughed when we wanted them to laugh, and when we didn't want them to laugh. So when I left, I kind of had that feeling of I think we might have nailed that one, girls. I think we're in.
Did you realise straight away that you'd found your three ladies?
Yeah, I mean, I'd worked with Sinead a lot before, and I was big fans of Roisin and Keelan. But it's like with the ensemble stuff, you need to make sure, you know, I think it sort of lives or dies by its chemistry, a comedy ensemble piece. So we just needed to make sure they were believable as friends. But I think we were laughing just the minute you sat down, and they didn't say anything, they didn't read any lines, and they just looked like a group of friends that were about to start arguing immediately. You know?
You talked before about the sort of dark Northern Irish humour of this piece. What is your favourite example of that, probably in the episode that we've just seen, and how do you think that translates internationally?
I like what I like about that sort of Northern Irish sense of humour is how quickly it goes from one thing to the other. So like how kind of they've had this very scary experience at the wake, and they've realised something really terrifying, you know, that it's not their friend in the coffin, but then they immediately start arguing over the fact that, you know, Keelan does, or Dara does like lemon drizzle cake. It just, that feels very truthful to me.
Absolutely. I mean, I just can't tell you enough as a aging millennial myself, how much I appreciated the musical choices in this show. I mean, just incredible. Did you guys have as much fun shooting that dance scene as we all had watching it? Do you remember it?
Yes, I remember it well. Yeah. It'll be forever ingrained, the sweat and the repetitiveness of it. And I wouldn't be a dancer now. I remember the choreographer just saying, Roisin, just concentrate. Don't even think about your feet. Just do the arms for me. Just do the arms. So it's they say things are made 3 times, don't they? Writing it and in the shooting of it and then in the edit. And thankfully, we got all the best bits. But yeah, it was good crack. Exactly.
I think it came together beautifully.
I remember the rehearsal for that because I think I was writing in the room when the choreographer was there, and it was. I remember it being very ambitious at the start of the day, but then you tried to get it. All of you were trying to get doing less and less and less because you realised you'd have to do it all day, and like the dance moves became simpler and simpler and simpler as the day went on.
I mean, it was wonderful. It's a wonderful, joyful moment. Michael, was there a moment sort of on set where something went wrong, something was sort of more difficult than you expected? Did it lead to any sort of breakthrough, or did it create some kind of magic on screen in the end?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I remember, a fun moment in prep because they drive around in a Range Rover, car, and we had to bash it up. So I remember when we were in pre-production, we gathered the entire crew outside to see who would want to volunteer to smash up a Range Rover. So that was one of those epic days. We had every single member of the crew out battering this thing outside to give it a go. So it was just sort of the madness and stories like that.
God, was it quite a busy shoot? Did you have to sort of get it all down quite quickly?
Yeah, it was an insane shoot, but we had an amazing crew. Like, we had a lot of people from Derry Girls, but it wasn't just me. It was part of the directing team. We had George and Rashna who did multiple episodes, and it just gets better as we go through the show. So it's just such an amazing NI crew, and Brian and everyone here. It was just one big film family.
Absolutely. Lisa, I said to you earlier, this demographic of women that we see on screen is not maybe as served as a lot of other demographics, and it's, selfishly for me, it is a huge pleasure to see women of that age on screen having so much fun. How important was it for you to tell a story like that, to have these women who've lived a bit, who've done things in their life, who've come back together, still friends?
I mean, I think it sounds so obvious, but I really wanted to write something I would watch, and I really believed that me and my friends would, I like to think we'd be brilliant at solving a mystery, but I know we'd probably just make it worse and worse, like the gang do. But I just I really feel like a lot of women might enjoy that and might enjoy seeing women get to go on an adventure and be messy and chaotic and make bad decisions, because I think the grey areas are sometimes the most interesting, and often it's men that get to do that stuff. Absolutely.
I think we all suspect that we'd secretly be, what did you describe it as, a shit 80?
Yeah, they're like the A-team but bad. I always had this idea of this mum wagon being the A-team van, but it's the way the A-team van, if anyone's old enough to remember, got cooler and cooler because they would add bits to it, but theirs just gets shitter and shitter because they keep messing it up.
God. Ladies, what's your sort of happiest memory when you look back on set and the time that you spent together shooting? Is there a memory that kind of sticks out for you particularly?
There's a few, but I can't say any of them without spoiling the show.
Yeah.
There's a few. Every day was so different.
Keelan?
Well, no, you said my name. What were you going to say?
The car.
I hated that car.
She pretended to hate the car.
I hated that car with a passion.
You didn't have to drive it.
Well, you didn't have to drive it either.
Excuse me, I drove us down the gap of Mamore. The door flew open mid-drive. Nobody called to cut. We could have all died. Honest to God.
What I meant by that was there was also a wonderful stunt driver that we had on the pod car.
Yes, well, we needed a pod car, but I did drive.
Guys, could we get a bit of help over here?
But I think the times when we were in the car, despite being told the microphone was on, and we had to watch what we said, were the times where it was just the three of us. I mean, it's such a crazy show in that there's the people coming in and out of our kind of orbit and having to put up with us. But there was kind of that time where we could just be like blah, 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 together in the car.
I think that's where we really, really got to know each other.
Yeah.
And the sound guy as well. Obviously, he was listening to everything.
It's like, please,
also
just,
got to know
just
us
girls,
intimately.
just so you know, that microphone is on. And I can't turn it off or turn it down. So just so you know, I think you reminded us about 3 times. Just so you know, girls, just again, that microphone is on. Just, you know, just a reminder, it's on all the time.
And it's people have talked about like female friendships and what it is that makes them important, and we've 2 weeks we've been doing this, and it's just occurred to me that women have this incredible ability to just go straight for the jugular in terms of conversation. It's like, tell me all about your labour. That's the sort of conversations that were being had, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Derek.
I mean, Keelan, Sinead, I would love to know actually, which of you think would be the best A-team member in real life? Rasheen? Sinead.
Oh,
Yeah.
What,
Absolutely.
Why? Why?
Because
Efficient.
great driver.
I am a good driver. That is true.
She is, though. No, seriously, like I would trust her with my life. Only
you did.
and I did many times. You're resilient. You're not scared of a lot of things. You're not scared of more things than me. Yeah, no, I think you're just you're made of stern stuff, woman, and you're not to be crossed.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad that's the impression I'm giving out. In a good way.
It's not negative.
Okay, great. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Michael, Lisa, would you concur?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I'm very impressed by this. Michael, you obviously, I would say that the beauty of the Irish scenery is a character in itself in this show. And you know, that last wonderful scene where we pan across the landscape is stunning. Was it such a privilege to get to scene scout, to kind of explore bits of Ireland? I guess you know it very well intimately. You've done so much before.
Yeah, Ireland's an amazing place. It's an amazing place. It's an amazing place to film. It has so many faces. I mean, it's epic. You don't know what's around the corner. It can be mystical. You know, it can be transcended in places. So it's a real gift, you know, for me to go around, you know, and find it. And it's sort of, the place itself just echoed what these guys were going through. And everything sort of had this sort of cohesion, so you know, it was brilliant.
It was beautiful. Lisa, obviously we saw Ardal appearing there.
Yeah.
I know we've got a few other guest stars who are going to pop up through the series. Can you give us any hints?
Can I give them any hints?
I know one's here tonight, so you could probably.
Is there someone here tonight I haven't seen tonight?
I don't know. Just look at where's Tom.
Oh God, of course, yes. Saoirse Monica Jackson. Yes, Saoirse's on it. From Derry Girls. There's a few Derry Girls people on it. Yeah, and Brona Gallagher does a great turn on it. She's amazing. Yeah, and the supporting cast are just incredible, I think. Like, and there's so many great comic actors in Ireland, you know. So it was brilliant. They meet like really weird people everywhere they go, don't they?
Yeah.
Whose idea was Ardal's bow tie? Was that you?
That was you, wasn't it?
Was it Kathy Pryor?
I think it was Kathy.
Oh, it was Kathy
That's
Pryor.
Kathy Pryor written all over it.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
It's amazing. I wanted it. I wish it span round though as well.
I kind of was expecting it to, I'm
Yes,
not going to lie. I
yeah.
did think it might.
I think it was a wee bit trial and error, and it was a wee bit both of us. Like on the it's so funny because on the page you think you've got it working, and then you try to shoot it. And one thing that we found out, I would say quite early on, is that we had to lose some jokes, which was devastating because it's like we were so used to packing Derry Girls full of jokes, but if you didn't let the I'm thinking of once that scene in episode 2 in the bathroom, like if you didn't let that the sort of creepier stuff breathe a bit, the comedy just undermines it, you know. So that was something I had to get used to. And I think it's just the Mike was incredible at making sure, you were weaving in and out of it. You weren't like laughing at the wrong bits, because it's just about testing everything, isn't it? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Test that. And music plays
Music, yeah.
such an important role in sort of navigating the tone out of these sort of two extremes.
It's hard to feel sad when Bewitched is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good. Yeah.
And then I think probably leading ladies. Do you have a girl in a blue school uniform that you were thinking about when you were playing those roles?
I have 3 girls in 3 brown uniforms. Very attractive. I've got two school friends, are still my closest friends. We didn't get up to any of that stuff. But yeah, it was very similar in that it was a convent school, nuns, all girls school. Yeah, and it was a nice, and I hope that's one of the things I hope that people would take from it is to kind of think of your 16-year-old self and, just reflect a little bit on God. Would my 16-year-old self be happy with where I am now, or is this where I thought I would be? And also to touch base with those friendships, if you're lucky enough to still have them from school, because they're such important years. They're such formative years, and if you do manage to find really good friendships at that age and hang on to them, then you're winning,
Yeah, it was a lot of, it was good crack, but I went to uni in Belfast and I live there now, so my kids, I still struggle with the fact that I have 2 boys who are Belfast boys, it's still hard for me, but I feel like I do understand the place, and I love the people, and they're, the women particularly are very funny and very sharp. Yeah, so it was a nice change, but I still had to make sure there's a big Derry element to this show where I couldn't have gone home again. But that's still to come though.
Isn't there a shot where everyone's in front of a Derry Girls mural?
There's something that happens that's a bit of a nod to Derry Girls. Yeah.
Nice Derry Girls Easter egg to look forward to.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think I love lots of different types of comedy. I love the American stuff in the 90s growing up. Obviously a big influence, and I think you can probably guess watching anything I do is Father Ted. That was my favourite sitcom as a teenager. But I love that American stuff where they speak very fast at each other. I've always felt that sort of, I connected to that because people at home just speak at each other, do you know what I mean? And the rhythms of that. So but also a lot of it comes from just listening to people in my family who, have some of the most surreal conversations I've ever heard. Yeah, I think I always felt the most powerful thing about being from where we're from, and the story that you didn't see very often was the ordinary people, day in, day out, going about their business, getting their kids to school, making sure the dinner was ready, like all these wee small victories every day, and the people are incredible and they're so funny. So it was just really, I guess, a love letter to that. And with this, I really loved the idea of doing something contemporary, and this isn't at all about the history of Northern Ireland, but it is about ghosts in the past and how we deal with stuff that we've kind of buried, that's difficult in the past. It's so cool to film in Belfast where these kind of ghosts are, everyone's moved on and everyone's, life's very different there now, but on the walls, and there's still there's the murals and the peace wall, and the sort of past's always with us. So we like the idea of telling a very contemporary story about the people of Belfast, or characters from Belfast, but with still that little echo of what has happened. Us, because I don't think you can't separate yourself from the past, really, do you know? It's so interesting because I think you just revert right back to when you were a teenager with those friends. So I think actually the teenager's just sort of buried between this pretense of sort of sophistication or whatever, and then she just pops out all the time. So it's really just about writing people, do you know, whatever age they are, and getting that chemistry kind of working between them. But I sort of believe, like I still feel like a 15-year-old, do you know what I mean? But I'm just sort of pretending I'm a grown-up a lot of the time.
Thank you so much for our wonderful panel tonight. Huge, huge thanks. Lisa McGee, Michael Lennox, Roisin Gallagher, Sinead Keenan, Keelan Dunn. Thank you so much.